Hello out there. Good morning from Ryan Field in Evanston, Illinois. It's in danger of blowing away by the time we finish this video, but we're going to get in a pregame live here on, well, it's not live because of the elements and because of Northwestern in this beautiful high school stadium. This is Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham, I'm Austin Ward. We're getting ready for Ohio State at Northwestern here, 11 a.m. Central Time, big noon kickoff. And we have the status report, but the weather conditions are by far the most intriguing. This is Brim Cantori over here getting ready to go out there and tell you exactly what he's going to be dealing with.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. Obviously, very windy, gusts of up to 60 miles an hour. Rain, not really going to happen until about like the end of the first quarter into the beginning of the second quarter, but it shouldn't be much. So it's not going to be a situation where the rain is the problem. It's just going to be throwing the ball. You just don't know where it's going to go. So that's, I guess, when you figure out how good your Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback is, when he can actually throw the ball without knowing where it's going and hope that guys are open. As I said earlier this week, the good news is that Northwestern doesn't cover anybody, so you should have some margin for error.
I'm a large man, and twice now there's been a big enough wind gust to like knock me on my heels a little bit. So this will be interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's strange because it's still pretty warm for November.
Yeah.
But the wind is not great. Okay, so if it's going to be hard for Ohio State it was going to be hard for Northwestern to throw the ball anyway. If the elements make that tough, this was a challenge for the Ohio State rushing attack. It will be without TreVeyon Henderson. Sort of alluded to this earlier in the week that Mayan Williams looked a lot healthier and fresher coming off the practice field than TreVeyon Henderson did. He's been dealing with a foot injury for more than a month now. Byrne, as you noted, coming off the field on Saturday at Penn State, looked like that last carry also took a little out of him. Yeah,
he just got hit on the same shin that happened at Michigan State, where you just wonder like how long that lingers, and if there's a tender spot there, and you just keep getting run into by people running at you very fast with hard helmets, like eventually that may hurt. And the thing is, he's trying to fight through this stuff, and he's running very, very hard. But if you wonder, maybe that's part of the reason why he seems to be a little bit less shifty than normal. I think that there's a little bit to that, and I would say that this is a situation where Ohio State feels like you don't need him. Let's just not even risk it at all today and give him the week off. And not to say that it's load management, because it's not, but at the same time, it's just being smart with someone's health.
Yeah, I didn't realize Ryan Day during the week was talking about how he and TreVeyon Henderson and Mayan Williams both sort of an in and out and never on the field or available at the same time together. I did not realize he was forecasting that it was going to happen again today. I think it puts Dallin Hayden in a pretty big... Like, Mayan Williams is available. I expect him to play. I think you also have to be a little careful with that, too. I don't think you want to give him 30 carries today. So I think it puts a lot on the shoulders of Dallin Hayden and probably Chip Traynham, too. I would expect now that we see Chip play today.
Yeah, the Chip Traynham situation is certainly interesting. He has barely touched the football, but he also has a relatively nice body of work, having played at Arizona State and running back and piled up some yardage and some touchdowns out there. It's not like it's foreign to him. It's just a weird dynamic to look at him, where he was clearly trying to change his body to be a linebacker and play more physically on the other side of the football. And then it's like, nope, you're back full-time on offense for the rest of this year. This is an opportunity where there should be a lot of carries to go around. And as you said, Bill, probably don't want Mayan Williams to handle the vast majority of them, because he also, what did he have, 2 touches last week before the chain gang knocked him out on the sideline. He's been banged up as well, so you don't really want to push the envelope there. On the defensive side of the football, this is today one of the shortest status reports that Ohio State has had in a long time. They're getting closer to full health, but Cameron Brown is still out. I thought there was a good chance, based on what I've been told for the last week and a half, that he could be ready for a return today, but he is listed as unavailable here in Northwestern. He's been dealing with a lower leg issue. Can't call that load management, but certainly Ohio State and Cameron Brown have both wanted to be careful not to push the envelope until he feels 100% ready. You can understand why, given his difficult injury history.
You hope, playing Northwestern, that you can get by with Jordan Hancock, J.K. Johnson, Denzel Burke, Jair Brown, and hope that's enough. On the offensive side of the ball, one of the things that happens on a day like today is that you don't do a lot of the screen passes, the wide receiver screens, because all of a sudden a wind gust takes that and makes it go behind the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden it's a loose ball. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of that end around stuff that we have been waiting to see the last few weeks. is as an attempt to mitigate some of the carries for Mayan Williams, but to make sure that you have the ball in the hands of guys like Emeka Ibuka, a little bit more explosive players on the edge, because that's where the difference between Ohio State and Northwestern really is.
I don't know how much kicking game there will be today. I don't want to throw my kicker out there, but Taraja Mitchell was not listed as unavailable, so that's a boost, I think, to the special teams. A guy that's been out quite a bit, and maybe like I've said before, sort of an under the radar absence for Ohio State as they tried to be a little more sure on special teams. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be sending my kicker out.
It's raining now.
Yeah, it is raining. 3 quick keys so before we don't ruin our camera out here in the elements.
For me, it's just don't hit the snooze button. This is the type of game. Last year when Ohio State went into Nebraska, it took them a little bit of time to just get going. In the atmosphere today, with the weather the way it is, with everything else, I think you just got to come out and put it on them really early. Don't allow this game to get into the second quarter and feel like there's any chance for Northwestern. Come out, end it quick.
Clean game for the offensive line, like knock them back. Don't have guys falling off blocks. It'll be hard to throw the ball today, but you should still be able to come out and run it 35, 40 times and do what you need to do on offense. I think the offensive line's been fine the last 2 weeks. They can be better, and this is a game where I think they can get right.
Berm stole mine. If you're going to look for extensions of the rushing attack and ways to get to the perimeter, bring back the pop pass, bring back the jet sweep. Those are very effective for Ohio State. They do allow some wrinkles off of that for the rest of the running game. You can still run play action. You can use that ghost motion. You can do a lot of things off of that for Ohio State. And now it seems a little silly because that's probably stuff that Ohio State, deep down, Ryan Day wanted to keep it for Michigan. Like, there does seem to be some element of gamesmanship going on with the full season of preparation for the offense, but this is a game where that may necessitate that because it's going to be difficult to throw the football out here. It's difficult to even stand, but the tripod survived, so we are going to make it closer to kickoff, and then after Ohio State Northwestern is over today, we'll be back out here for some snap judgments on the podcast, and full coverage as well coming at ohiostate.rivals.com. That's Bill Byrne. I'm Austin. Enjoy the game.